Good morning, everybody. We're up and around. Baby's just watching every move I make. Typical. Sheldon is down here sliming the door. Just having a good old time. Let's slime the door and the floor and whatever else. Yesterday in town, I bought some new frying pans. This one I've already washed. I really like the Tefal that you get at like Walmart and Kmart and whatever else. They pretty good stuff. I bought those for home, and I've had them for a really long time. They last forever. I mean, you have to use the no-stick utensils and stuff so you don't scratch them up. But, what the heck, right? If they're good. And I bought another frying pan. I'll season it later this afternoon. I think I'm going to make steaks tonight, depending on how much work I get done today. So, we'll have a steak video. Everybody needs a good steak video. I set this in there. And I bought a strainer thing because I made a mess last week. But I did notice last night the window, it's better. It's a lot better in here. I mean, it's warmer for sure. The temperature in here would go up and down and up and down. It wasn't consistent. I've got those in, and it seems more consistent. It stays the same temperature. And that's a good thing. But at night, when you have the lights on inside, you can't see outside. There's so much reflection. It's not annoying, but you just wonder who's standing outside the door or outside the window watching you, like a giant ant, or maybe the eyeball of the colossal man. Who knows? And we have Bigfoot out here, so it could be any of the above. The dogs are getting better about going outside. I opened the door up yesterday, and Baby ran outside and did what he had to do, and then I opened up this morning, and he went right straight outside. So they're going out in the backyard a lot better. I need to get the step built. I dumped a bunch of rock down there to help keep some of the tracked-in dirt down. I have the steps, all the materials for the steps, to get that built. I probably will have to go to the store again today because I didn't get enough caulking. If I don't go to the store, then I won't be getting this one done at all. I've got enough to finish that one, but not enough to finish that one. So, that's where I'm at. Everything looking good. I like these windows so far. They're warm to the touch. They're all about the same temperature to the touch. This one's really in the sun. It's about the same. The porch at 60 degrees, which is in the sun, and 35 degrees out back. It's probably sitting at about 40 or 45. So, we're going to get busy. I've got last night's video cooking. It takes about 3 hours to make a video. It takes a really long time. And I didn't feel like doing it last night. I played some World of Tanks, and that was about it. MMO type games will not work on satellite, where you need a instant response. But they do work on cellular. I'm having great luck on cellular. I don't play a lot of games, but I do enjoy a break and play a little World of Tanks. But that's about it. I'm just having a lot of fun. Just looking around outside, seeing if it's safe to let the dogs out in the front yard. Sheldon didn't want to come in last night. He was having too much fun just running back and forth right out here in the front yard. I'm going to get busy. We'll be back. Sheldon's really being annoying this morning. He's not being a good boy. So they're going out. Come out here and see what I'm going to have to do. Okay. So the first thing, I put this piece of wood up last night. It's just sitting there. That's going to be the trim for that one. I'm going to have to get a piece of insulation and put in there. Have some stick-on insulation that'll fit in there, and then I'll caulk over that. And now I'm going to have to do that on all four corners. And I need to caulk along here because I cut that too far down. I'm not a carpenter, y'all know that. The new trim board is going to be 5 inches. It's going to be bigger than that. So, what else? Where'd they go? Baby's probably right next up. There's Baby. Shellbot's right there. Being a nuisance. Scaring the trees. Poor trees. Alright. I'm going to leave them out here so the giant ants can get them. Back to work. Okay, I am priming the wood. The first piece. I realized that I don't need that insulation that I thought I needed because this is going to be pretty well covered. Should be anyhow. So all I'll need is a little bit of caulking along that edge. It's all caulked, all the seams, everything that I will need a little bit of caulking across the top. I'll more than likely have to ride to town and get some more. But, oh well. I'll try and find some somewhere else closer. I don't know why Sheldon will come over here to this point and look up. Oh, maybe he's looking at that antenna. That could be it. Okay, back to work. I'll show you what I did. I just put this board up here just to support these, so I make sure I get them the right height on the bottom. I'll take that off in a few minutes. I'm using nails to put it in because I kind of realized that if we ever have to take those out, we'd never be able to get the screws out because we're going to paint them. I'll show you how I cut these to 4 inches here in just a minute. That's the next thing I need to do. Okay, this is about a 5.5 inch board. I'm trying to find a board that's exactly 4 inches. It's just next to impossible. So what I'm going to do first is just mark the board at 4 inches. I'll be right back. I can do that on the air. A lot of wind noise though. Well, let's see. Okay, we're marking the board to 4 inches. Okay, so it's marked. I wonder where my tripod is. Let me get my tripod and we'll see if that'll... Okay, tripod's buried. So the next thing you do is you take your straight edge and set on here. Make sure all your marks line up. And mark it. Okay, that's marked. Now take your mark and make sure you're not going to cut the table. That would be bad. So it's a good distance from the table all the way to length. Take your straight edge and set on here. Okay, now I have these clamps. These clamps came with the table, this table, and they work pretty cool. So you're going to take your saw and set on here, and where your mark is, you want to make sure that your saw blade is flush. You pull your straight edge down. Make sure everything's flush and set your saw mark where your saw is just outside of that mark. Okay, now that one's done for the moment. I take my clamp and clamp this side down. You take your saw again and make sure that hasn't moved. Okay. Now you go down to this end and you do the same thing. Make sure everything's lined up just outside of the mark. Take your second clamp lock that down. Now you recheck everything. Recheck it. And make sure nothing's moved. This side might be slightly too far out. So let's check it again. It's still just a hair too far out. Check it again. And that's a little too far in. And one more time. That's just right. Check this side again. That's just right. Now what you're going to want to do is take your saw and hold it up against the straight edge like that and saw the full length of this. So I'm going to shut the video off because it gets loud and I need both hands. And there we have it. Take your clamps off, remove your straight edge, knock all the dust off of it, and set it down there for priming. Now that saves, you know, you can't do this all the time. There's going to be a lot of situations where you won't be able to do that. But it's saving me the cost of a table saw, you know, $200, $300, $400 or more for a table saw. Ryobi has a couple of pretty decent ones, but I've been doing it like this and it works. So, you know, the house may fall down someday because nothing's straight, but who knows? It works out for me. I'll be back. I had to move the painting operations inside for about 10 reasons, including the dogs. But it's windier than heck, so I have an old blanket here I can paint on. So I'm going to kick the baby out and get busy. Okay, there's the upper piece. The wind is getting stupid, so I don't know what time it is. I'm going to start my steak marinating and put the rub on it. And I think I'll take the dogs to town with me. I need more caulking. I can go to the other town. It's Only 50 minutes away and don't need anything else up there. So that's the plan. Okay, I'm just going to do the marinating part of this right here in the package. This is some kind of a New York strip. It's a small one. They didn't have any big ones today. Maybe they were out of cows, I don't know. But you just do it. You wash your hands good first. Just do it right in the package. So I'm going to get out my stuff. You need just a little bit of olive oil. And find a steak rub that you like. Okay, this is Desert Blend. Who knows what's in it? I got that. Oops, way too much oil. I got that at, where did I get this? I think I got this in that pecan place with the giant alien pecan. The radioactive man-eating giant pecan. Rub that oil in. Take this thing out. I don't have too many dogs down here watching. Flip it over and rub some more oil in. I have a bone in that. Darn, that's the first time I've probably ever made one of these with a bone. I hope it turns out. Okay. Now, wipe the oil off your hands. Take your grill rub and put it on there liberally. A lot of it, and rub that in. Rub it in good. Wipe your hands. Flip it over. There's a lot of olive oil on there, and put on more liberally. Doing it like this, I have not had a steak this good anywhere else. Not anywhere. Rub that in good. And I'm going to flip it over just to collect some of the olive oil that's on the plate. And flip it over back over to the original side. So this, I'm going to take and just set in the oven somewhere. I'm going to set it in the new frying pan that's all ready to go. So that's in the oven. It's ready to cook. It's not ready to cook. It has to marinate. It has to soak in. You could probably do it right away if you wanted to, but I want to guarantee the results. Okay, that's all there is to that. Clean up my mess, put my stuff away. Always put your stuff away when it's done, otherwise you have a messy kitchen. And mine is kind of messy right now. But it's not finished. I don't have all my cabinets up. That's all there is to that. So I'm going to stop this video if I can figure out how. Okay, I got the window done, and Sheldon's already slimed it. I'm impressed, believe it or not. I am, but I'm not. It's taken 89 known days to build this. And it's coming along really well. I got the window done. It's windy out here. I just now received a high wind warning. That's it. It's ready for paint. That's Sherwood-Williams all-purpose primer. We'll have to get a can of the house paint to cover little goof ups. And then Sue said she wanted to paint that turquoise because this is New Mexico. Everything's turquoise. But we'll see. Brown would work for me. I like that color down there. Let's see. I think it came out pretty good. It took me all day to do it. Plus I had to go get more caulking. I'm probably using more caulking than I'm supposed to, but it's up. And I got the music playing in there, and I cannot hear it through this window. Gonna do that one maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. The frame matches what Dusty did in the rear on the door, so it works. Sheldon's been a royal pain getting into the paint. He wallered in the paint can lid. Now he's got white spots. What a dog. So I am going to work a little bit tonight on the back. I need to get all that wood inside. And I might strap down those windows. I need to get the wood in because it's supposed to snow tonight. I hope so. I hate snow, but we need the moisture. Need to bring the bikes in too. We're charging at 11 amps, have 13.25 volts. We're using 4.6 amps, and on 12 volts, 0.69 amps. Not bad. Like I said a million times, I am not a carpenter. But thanks to the wonders of YouTube, it's getting there. Kind of happy. I'm going to sit down. True story, and I'll point it at me. True story. About 1995, back before dust, back before most of you were alive, there were still candy bars in your daddy's back pocket. I was married to my 73rd wife, and she wanted me to build a birdhouse. Oh, I see a spot that I missed. Anyhow, she wanted me to build a birdhouse. So I went outside, I got my little saber saw and whatever else I needed. I started on this birdhouse. It took me all day. It ended up being about 1 foot by 1 foot square. And I took it outside, and I was all proud of that little birdhouse. It was pretty cool. I thought it was. I took it outside and hung it on the wall of my house in Rawlins. It's still there. Birds won't live in it. But it's still there. And this little birdie inspector came fluttering in, and he landed on the perch on this birdhouse. And the little birdie inspector looked all around, did the little, looking all over the place like birdie inspectors do. And he went inside, and he was in there for a few minutes. And the little birdie inspector came back out of the house and stood there on the little perch and whipped out this little sign and nailed it up over the entrance of the birdhouse, and it was a condemned sign. My little birdhouse was condemned. So, and the birds still won't live in it. It's still got the little condemned sign on it. So, I'm not a carpenter, like I say. That was a long time ago. Thanks to the wonders of YouTube and a lot of guesswork, we've been able to get this place to come together, at least kinda. It hasn't fallen apart yet. It's windier than hell outside, about like Rawlins, a little bit less wind than Rawlins. But they call this windy. In Rawlins, you learn to stand sideways. You don't have to do that here. It's still windy. My boards are blowing around. The cows, you know, you hear of side hill walking cows where the two legs on one side are shorter than the other. That's the way it is in Rawlins. You walk on one side all the time. People come to town and say, how do you handle this wind? You get some foreigner coming in, and I've had it happen to me many times. They come in and they say, how do you handle this wind? You say, what wind? Anyhow, my steak is over there. I think I'll cook that. It's time for food. Okay. I'm going to use the new frying pan. Oh, I forgot about that one. I've got 3 frying pans in there. Where'd the new one go? Oh, here it is. I haven't seasoned it yet. I'm going to crank the heat in there. I'm not sure how, but I'm going to crank the heat to 500 degrees. Let me get that started and I'll come back. Alright, I'm going to set this up a little bit higher than normal, about 475. This frying pan has not been seasoned yet. So, I'm going to pour just a little bit of olive oil in it. Now what I'm going to do, I have to set this, there's my steak, it looks good. I'm going to take my frying pan, let that all flow around a little bit. Should probably take a paper towel and get it in there pretty good. I think I'll do that. I will be right back. Okay, I'm going to rub that olive oil around in there pretty good. Get it all up on the sides. Get that all in there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is set that frying pan. Put it on leave it on the top shelf. Close the door. At 575 degrees. Now I'm cooking a little bit hotter than I normally would just because I like the outside a little bit done and the inside not so done. Kind of medium rare on the inside and well on the very, very surface of the outside. But it won't be. It's going to probably end up being all the same all the way through. Okay, so let's let that get hot and I'll be back. Okay, I've been working on that wall. Got a couple more boards up. It's time for the steak. And then I'm going to eat. So, what we're going to do is find one of these little doodads. Start the oven on high. Start your upper burner on high. Grab your frying pan and set it up there. Take your steak and just drop it on the frying pan. Let it cook there for 3 to 5 minutes. Just like that. I'm going to turn the oven off. Let that cook for 3 to 5 minutes. And I'll be right back. Okay, after about 3 to 5 minutes, roughly, You want to take it up and flip it. That's what I like. Right there. Let that side cook for 3 to 5 minutes. And we'll be back again. Oh, one more thing while this is cooking. You want to use a good thick steak. No pansy steaks. The little bitty thin things you find in garbage grocery stores. You want to use a good thick steak. I don't know where to tell you to get it. I got this one here at Lowe's Grocery. And where did I get this? Lowe's grocery store. I don't remember where I got it. But you don't want to use a frozen steak either. You want to use one that's fresh and not frozen. It's got to be at room temperature in order to cook right. And that's basically how you do it. I'm going to let this side here cook for 3 to 5 minutes. It's been about 2 minutes. And then you grab your thing over there again and you put it back in the oven for another 4 or 5 minutes. Now what's going to happen is that steak will continue cooking as long as it's on the frying pan. And that's basically what it's doing right now. So I gotta go over there and try and figure out why that board doesn't fit. Okay, flipping it again. Perfect. I don't even think I'm gonna put that in the oven. Turn this off. How do I turn that off? Turn that one off. Set off my smoke alarm, of course. And find myself a plate. Where's those cheap little plastic plates at? There they are. Cheap little $1.98 plastic plate. Matter of fact, I think they were 10 cents. Okay, it's got some dust on it. I'm going to have to clean it. Alright, I'm going to go eat. I'll show you what it looks like when I open it up. Well, I did screw up. I did forget to buy corn. I wanted corn, and I forgot to buy it. So let's cut this thing up. Oh yeah. Have to eat small pieces or it'll take my teeth out. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh my gosh. No, Sheldon, you can't have any. I have not had a better steak. No matter where I have gone, I have not had a better steak. We go to steakhouses quite a bit, and a lot of them taste like liver. They're not cooked right. Texas Roadhouse is about the closest to a good steak that I've ever found. But this is better. Way better. Alright, I'm going to eat. I'd eat in front of you, but I won't. Okay, I got that wall up. I'm going to trim this just about a ½ inch down all the way. And put up a regular trim on that. Do it all the way around. Got the molding up on the sides and on the top. I stuffed a bunch of insulation up into that vent area. I can't seal that vent totally because it'll capture moisture, from what I understand, up in the roof. So we need a little bit of circulation up there. I just don't want the air from down here going up there. So I'm debating on going ahead and putting the bikes back in the garage because I don't know what the weather's going to do tonight. The moon is still out. Sheldon just went out. I got everything in the house running and we're at 12.4 volts. well, 12.63 volts, sorry. Running 14 amps on AC and 3.6 on DC. I don't have everything in the house running, but darn near. The stars are out. It's supposed to snow, million-mile-an-hour breeze, but I'm not seeing any part of it. It's supposed to drop down into the 30s. I'm going in without Sheldon. I guess I'll leave the bikes out for tonight. Okay, I'm going to clean up my mess and give up for today. It's still 57 degrees in here according to that thermometer. It feels a lot warmer, 40 degrees outside. Not bad. Do you want to eat, Sheldon? Oh, I got to bring this back in. It goes up here. Okay, I'm going to get busy and clean up my mess and put together my bed and do it, get done. Haven't fed the dogs yet either. They had some of my steak. They loved it. Alright, I'm going to get this one published also. See you tomorrow.